Hi there, Tomás here from AuditSnap, and this video we are going to look a little bit closer at specific templates for AuditSnap. So that is both how a template can go together to match a complex workflow and how we use that in practice. So I may split this video into two. We might look at the template first and how that goes together, and then how to populate that template in real time. But let's first talk about how it goes together. So here I've got the AuditSnap open in the aspect ratio that you'd see on your smart device. I'm on the laptop here, of course, so you can open AuditSnap on any smart device, your phone, your tablet, and of course your laptop. This is the view you might see on your smart device. So the first place we go if we want to look at how to put the templates together is to the templates menu here. And you can see here the inspection templates that I've built already. And the one that we're going to focus on right now is the Dubai one bedroom apartment template. Okay, so we can use this now, or but we're going to take a closer look at it first. Now we can look at this in the aspect ratio for the phone. Of course we can. But for simplicity, let's go and make this full screen so we can see what we're doing. So here we've got the Dubai one bedroom apartment template. We're just going to look into edit mode here so we can see it. And here you can see we've got a title, we've got our category, which is the snag list, and we've got a description here as well. What we can do in here is put in content blocks. And the content blocks here can contain introductions, methodology, any fixed kind of information set that you might have. Maybe building regulations in the local environment, maybe disclaimers, methodology, insurance details, whatever it may be. You can inject those into every single report that you do, but you only have to do it once. Do it in your template and it'll appear in your report. Additionally and importantly, we can now inject sections as part of our template. So we'll have multiple sections in here. In this case, we're going to have one for the scope or the inspection details. And then we'll have one for each of the rooms and each of the topics that we want to discuss in our inspection, right? And then inside each of those sections, we can ask a series of questions. And those questions can require text responses, number responses, choices, or acknowledgements. And acknowledgement is like a check, okay? And importantly as well, these can be optional or mandatory. And the idea is that mandatory responses need to be populated in the actual inspection, or you won't be able to create your inspection report. And that's important, especially if you've got a load of bases you need to cover and you don't want an incomplete report. So this is how you would do that. So let's just have a quick look at how this demo template has gone together. We've got somewhat of a content block here at the start, but it's just for demo purposes. And we can insert these content blocks at the start of the report or the end of the report. You might want to put the disclaimer, for example, at the end of the report. You might want to leave it include in the compact report, because we get different styles. So a compact report might not be for a wider audience. They might not need a lot of that content. But essentially, you're talking here about introductions, methods, statements, regulations, disclaimers, etc. You can drop those in there, and you can do multiple. So this is one, but you can put in multiple content blocks. Here we've got the inspection details, which will cover like the configuration. Now this is a one bedroom, so it's obviously a one bedroom. You can put in your point of contact, or let's say the audience for the inspection report. The inspection type and date will be captured already, but we might not need that, for example, because it's already going to be captured on the front cover. And then maybe you've got some type of jurisdiction, or maybe some neighborhood, or maybe that you want to put in there. Let's look at the next one. We've got utilities and limitations. So here we've got a choice. So here we've got the choice of response is yes, no, or not confirmed. We can modify or change those to be whatever we wish. This question is the electricity active? And so the answer to this is yes, no, or not confirmed. And the next one is water active? Yes, no, or not confirmed. Is the cooling active? Yes, no, or not confirmed. And so we can design these options or questions in whichever way we see fit. The next one is we're going to start to look at the different rooms or areas of the property. And so here we've got the entrance and hallway. So here we've got, again, some options. The entrance and hallway overview, photograph captured. So this demo inspection requires the inspector to capture photographic evidence as part of the template, as part of their standard procedure. And what you'll see is when we actually use this in a real case, every one of these items in a section can capture linked photographic evidence. You can also capture voice notes. We can add additional finding if even more detail is required. And we can even capture actions linked to each of these items. You'll see that when we start populating this for real. We're still in the entrance and hallway, and now we want the inspector to inspect walls, ceilings, floors, tiling, and finishes and ensure they're free from visible damage. Again, you'll be able to capture photographic evidence right on that, and it'll be injected into the report as a linked evidence. We've got also options here: pass, defect, not tested, inaccessible, not applicable. And again, those are totally customizable. Let's move on to the next section. Living and dining area. So again, we want a photograph captured for each of these elements of the section. We want a photograph captured for walls, ceilings, floors, and finishes, for doors, wardrobes, built-in joinery, whatever it may be, whatever's appropriate and common that needs to be captured as part of the snag list. We're trying to cover all our bases here with our template. And so this is a very, very detailed, you can see the bedroom here section. This is a very, very detailed inspection template, right? So we can help you put this together. Your starter templates, absolutely, for 1 bedroom, 2 bedroom, for a villa, for whichever range of inspection templates that you need. But this is an example of the level of detail we can get to for these inspection templates. So that's what it looks like. As you can see, quite detailed, very detailed. It can be as simple or as complex as you wish. So without going into further detail on how you actually build it, because we'll be able to support you in that process, let's go and see what it looks like when the inspector wants to use it. So the inspector arrives on site. He will likely start a new audit, and then he'll give his inspection a name. So let's just call this demo Dubai 1 bedroom, right? And we're going to start this using a template, and we're going to use the template that we just saw. But of course, we have a selection. In this list, you will have Dubai 1 bedroom apartment, Dubai 2 bedroom apartment, Dubai villa, etc. But we're going to use this just for demo purposes. At the location, of course, we can capture a load of detail here about the inspection as much as we wish as well. But let's get started. When this inspection starts now, and this is the view you'd have here on your laptop, but let's imagine we're on our smartphone. So when we're on our smartphone now, we can see that we've loaded our inspection here. We can actually make this available offline if there's low or poor or no connectivity in the location. We can actually make this offline, so it'll be fully available to the inspector in an offline mode. And here we've got 3 sections: inspection, review and polish, and export. The inspection is where we load all of the responses, all of the findings, the actions. All of those are created in the inspection area. Review and polish is where we see a preview of our inspection reports, where we generate our inspection report. Is where we can edit and modify and professionalize our inspection report before we actually go to either export it or share it. And export and shared, obviously, is where we put the final touches, organize the sequencing of the different sections. And then we can export into PDF or Word, or we can share. Okay. Let's look at what we've got here on our inspection section now. So this inspection template requires 55 responses. And currently we've got 0 answered. And until we have our 55 responses, we will not be able to create our inspection report. And that means these are mandatory checks, mandatory responses that must be provided. Yeah. So you will recognize these titles of these sections from our template, because we just had a look at our template right now. Here we'll give some details about the property. We'll be able to add further notes. We'll be able to add photographs for any of these items we deem appropriate. We can add photographs. We can dictate notes here. So we don't have to type in every single time we want to make an entry or a response. We can dictate, it'll transcribe, and we can transcribe actually in multiple languages as well. So that's important to note. We're primarily English based, but we can flex to different languages as well. So we can also add raise findings. If we find something, maybe if we want to link it to one of our items in our section, we can raise it here, and the finding will have more detail. It will have more detail sitting behind that finding, so we can give it more color. And the actions, then we can assign actions to ourselves or to others and give them due dates and give them criticality. We can do all that for each item, and we can do it separately as well. And that's important as well if you have actions that are arising from your inspection. So you can see here, these are all requiring details to be loaded in. As we populate answers in here, you will see that the little metric up here is going to update, and you're going to be able to see how many responses are outstanding. Right? We've also got inside in these items notes for the inspector. So if they're trying to understand what actually is required in the response, these little notes are like prompts to help them to understand what's required. Yeah. You can see here we've got sections for the living room, the bedroom, the kitchen, ensuite, second bathroom, balcony, AC, and right, all of that detail is there. So that is an overview of what it looks like. Because this is quite detailed, I'm not going to populate all this. I might do that in a separate video and then share that with you. I'll probably share with you export something that I would have fully populated here. Let's say this workshop inspection, I believe, has got more detail in here. Yeah, so we've got some detail in here. We've got some photographs. You can see that this is a shorter one. And just to show you what the process looks like, here we've got a fully responded inspection template with all of our responses. We've got some findings in here as well. We've also got some actions. You can see those are captured here. Review and polish then would automatically take all of the descriptions of all of the findings and everything you have responded to in your template, and it would automatically generate an executive summary for you using AI. You see that here. Then you'll have all of your inspection results captured and fully completed. Here in this section, your findings, your actions, your conclusion, also created by AI, but fully editable. You can professionalize all of these by clicking any one of these buttons, and it just brings up the level of professionalization of the commentary that you've inserted. And then once you're happy with that, you go to the export function and you decide in what format you want it. Professional, standard, compact format. You want to decide which sequence your different sections arrive in, and then you've got your export options. So I'm just going to regenerate this one and download the PDF so you'll be able to see the type of outputs you'll expect. The front cover of the AuditSnap inspection report in PDF is customizable as well. So if you want your own logos there, if you want your own branding on that, that's totally doable as well. So this is what it looks like. This is a workshop equipment and safety inspection. So this is the default cover. We've got our details on here, and we can see we've got an executive summary. We've got our key metrics. Here, our inspection results section start to appear with our images. We've got then our findings. So if you'd like to get in touch, feel free to contact me at Tomás@auditsnap.ai or visit us on our website at auditsnap.ai.